you're watching WION World is One. My name is Mohammed Saleh. In this special edition of the broadcast over the course of the next 30 minutes, we'll bring you up to speed with everything that's happening around the world. The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has met with his Australian counterpart Anthony Albanese and they held bilateral talks. The Australian Prime Minister, remember, is on a 4-day visit to India. The focus of the two leaders is on shared concerns about China and also deepening trade ties. The two of them will also be discussing issues of investments, defence and critical minerals. Albanese also met with India's External Affairs Minister, followed by talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and this marks Albanese's maiden visit to India and the first by an Australian Premier in over 6 years to the Indian subcontinent. Even after the parliamentary elections in Nepal, Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda's 7-party coalition seems pretty fragile and is fighting for survival. A writ petition in Nepal's Supreme Court seeks to investigate and also prosecute Prime Minister Prachanda. And this comes after the Prime Minister admitted that he is responsible for the killing of 5,000 people during the decades-long Maoist insurgency. Political crisis in Nepal could of course spell doom for the ruling coalition. Prime Minister Prachanda took office in December 2022 at the helm of a 7-party coalition. Pull out by key coalition partner, the CPUML, could potentially cost the Prime Minister his chair.
Statement. No foreign pilots.
The New Zealand pilot who was taken hostage by the Papuan rebels last month appeared in a video released on Friday by separatists. The rebels have called for the United Nations to mediate in the conflict in the resource-rich region. Pilot Philip Mertens, who works for a small domestic air service, was abducted by the armed wing of the Free Papua movement on the 7th of February after landing at an airstrip in the Nduga district. Papua, the western half of New Guinea Island, has seen a low-level separatist insurgency since the region, once governed by the Netherlands, was brought under Indonesian control following a United Nations supervised vote way back in 1969. And Malaysia's former Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin has been charged with abuse of power and money laundering over projects that were launched under his premiership. This comes just a day after he was questioned by the anti-corruption agency, arrested and then released on bail. At a sessions court in capital Kuala Lumpur, Yassin was hit with 4 counts of abuse of power. The prosecution has accused him of obtaining bribes to the tune of nearly about $51.4 million for his political party Bersatu. He has pleaded not guilty to all the 6 charges and has now called the allegation as nothing short of a political persecution. Muhyiddin Yassin was the Prime Minister for about 17 months between the years 2020 till 2021. And Xi Jinping has secured an unprecedented 3rd term as the President of China. And this victory, of course, marks Xi Jinping's 3rd tenure and makes him modern China's longest-serving head of state. Now, Xi Jinping has also been elected as the head of China's Central Military Commission. Almost 3,000 votes were in favor of awarding Xi Jinping another term in the top job. And while taking oath, Xi Jinping has vowed to build a pretty prosperous, strong, democratic, civilized and a harmonious and a great modern socialist nation. Xi's re-election marks the culmination of his remarkable rise. He's gone from being a little-known member of the Communist Party to being the leader of a rising global power. The Chinese Foreign Ministry has expressed sympathies for the cyclone-hit island nation of Vanuatu during a regular press briefing. The ministry spokesperson Mao Ning has said that China and Vanuatu are good friends. She also further added that China will continue to do whatever it can to help Vanuatu's relief and reconstruction efforts. A state of emergency was declared in Vanuatu as Category 4 Cyclone Kevin had brought gale-force winds and torrential rains to the Pacific nation that is battling its 2nd major cyclone in a span of a week. Spread across 13 principal islands in the southwestern part of the Pacific, Vanuatu had already been battered by Cyclone Judy that it hit last Wednesday. Kim Jong-un has ordered North Korea's military to intensify its drills in preparation for a real war. Now, Pyongyang fired a short-range ballistic missile off its west coast. Photographs released by North Korea's state-run media showed at least about 6 missiles being fired at the same time. And according to local reports, Kim Jong-un, while meeting with the soldiers, has told them to prepare for 2 strategic missions. The first is to deter war, and the second is to take the initiative in war. The drills, of course, have come just ahead of South Korea and the United States preparing to kick off their largest ever military drills in over 5 years this coming Monday. And at least about 600 soldiers from the United States, Thailand and other militaries participated in a live ammunition fire exercise, concluding the region's largest annual joint military drills that are known as Cobra Gold. The combined arms live fire exercise was attended by soldiers from the United States, Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia and Indonesia. The exercise involved air and ground operations as well as artillery assaults, and Cobra Gold is one of the world's longest running multilateral military exercises and the biggest in Southeast Asia. It's been serving as a key platform for Washington to shore up alliances in Asia at a time of increasing competition with China. In total, this year's full-scale exercises involved nearly about 7,000 personnel from 30 different countries. Manhattan prosecutors have signaled to Trump that he could face criminal charges relating to his alleged role in the hush money payments to porn star Stormy Daniels. Now, according to the New York Times, the former American president was told that he could actually appear before a Manhattan grand jury next week if he wished to testify. Stormy Daniels has said that she had an affair. This is what she claims, that she had an affair with Donald Trump. And she also claims that the former American president had given her nothing less than $130,000 as hush money before the 2016 election campaign. Donald Trump has maintained that nothing of the sort had ever happened between him and Stormy Daniels. In 2018, he told the reporters that he knows nothing about any payments that he or any of his representatives may have made to Stormy Daniels. A grand jury is also hearing evidence in New York, and criminal charges against Trump may follow. And Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has met with the French President Emmanuel Macron to discuss the joint efforts to stop migrants from crossing the English Channel. The United Kingdom wants to look at boosting police patrolling on the French beaches, from where many small boat crossings actually leave. A deal on returning migrants arriving in the United Kingdom to France is not expected though. Earlier this week, Rishi Sunak had unveiled his plans to deter people from making the crossing. Under the plans, anyone who is found to have entered the country illegally would not only be removed from the United Kingdom within 28 days, but also be blocked from returning. The junior doctors of Britain are now all set to go on a strike. The doctors have claimed that they are overworked, underpaid and are burdened with student loans that can be barely paid off with their current wages. The British Medical Association, which represents doctors and medical students in the United Kingdom, including about 45,000 junior doctors in England, has said that nearly about 98% of the people had voted in favour of strike action, with a turnout of about 77.5% of the BMA members who were entitled to vote. The BMA has said that their calculations showed that pay for junior doctors in England from 2008 till 2009 till 2021 to 2022 had seen a real terms pay cut of a staggering 26%. That is how their purchasing power has decreased in the last few years. Meanwhile, the German authorities have confirmed that they had raided a ship in January. The authorities suspect that the ship may have been used to transport explosives that were used to blow up the Nord Stream pipelines. The police has been searching for a specific boat that had moored there in the month of September, and the island's administration had asked residents if they had a photograph or a video documentation of the harbour on certain dates last September. The Danish police declined to provide any further comments on this issue. But the latest barrage of missiles by Russia has resulted in deaths of at least about 9 civilians in Ukraine and has also resulted in electricity being cut off across Ukrainian cities. Moscow has confirmed that it used its Kinzhal hypersonic missiles. However, Russia has repeatedly denied targeting civilians, and it has said that all of the targets that it had hit were those that were essentially used as military facilities, and they were struck to reduce Ukraine's ability to fight. But Kiev has said that airstrikes have no military purpose and their only aim is to harm and intimidate the common people. For months now, Russia has been pummeling key facilities across Ukraine with missiles and drones, disrupting water, heating and also electricity supplies to millions of people. The residents in Kiev woke up to yet another deafening attack, something that's now become almost a never-ending nightmare for almost over 12 long months. At least about 8 people have been killed in a mass shooting incident at the Jehovah's Witness Church in the northern German city of Hamburg. According to reports that have come in, a perpetrator could have been among the dead in this deadly terror attack. Several people were left injured in the shooting, and this is something that is happened in the city of Hamburg in Germany. Boeing, meanwhile, has said that it is going to set up a facility in India to convert 737 passenger planes into dedicated freighters. The Boeing plans to tap into the global and regional demand for service. The investment has come despite a global economic slowdown that has weakened the global air cargo market. This will also add to the US manufacturer's expansion into India after the record plane order that was placed by the flag carrier Air India. Boeing will be setting up the conversion facility in Hyderabad with Indian maintenance, repair and overhaul provider GMR Aerotechnics. The deal also adds to Boeing $1 billion supply chain sourcing from India and will help support India's ambitions of becoming a global cargo hub. Tata Technologies, a division of India's automaker Tata Motors, is applied to go public with an initial public offering. The company has filed a draft paper to the market regulator for public issue on Thursday. Through the current IPO, current shareholders and issuers are selling up to 95.71 million shares. In December, Tata Motors had announced that it was considering a public float to sell a portion of its stake in Tata Technologies. The Tata Tech is a product engineering and digital service company that serves the automotive, aerospace and other industries. The company primarily serves the Tata Motors, Jaguar Land Rover and the Tata Group. However, it has increased the proportion of its businesses that comes from outside of the country. In the 9 months that ended on the 31st of December, Tata Tech's total profits have gone up by nearly about 23% to almost $50 million. In another incident of massive data breach, tech firm Acer's data breach has in fact come to light, with 160 GB of data having been exposed and put up for sale to the highest bidder. The Acer has said that hackers were able to hack the server that was hosting the documents used by the company's technicians. However, Acer has also added that hackers have got access to consumer data which could affect millions of people. While the company did not give the details of the amount of data that has been breached, a new post was spotted on a popular hacking forum, where the hacker was seen offering about 160 GB of data stolen from Acer last month. The hacker claims that the stolen data from Acer includes technical manuals, software tools, product documentation of phones, tablets and laptops. In the Italian city of Milan, climate activists from the Last Generation movement sprayed yellow paint on the statue of the former Italian King Victor Emmanuel II. In the Duma Square, the two activists at the site have been identified as Riccardo and Martina. Both activists were dragged away by the police. While they were being taken away, the activist named Riccardo could be seen shouting, that Italy continues to invest in fossil fuels. Last year as well, the activists from the same group had hurled paint at Milan's La Scala Opera House and had blocked the Mont Blanc tunnel in a joint action with fellow campaigners from France. Now, earlier in the month of November last, the group had staged other protests, including one that targeted a Van Gogh painting in Rome and also an Andy Warhol decorated car in Milan. Now, Bangkok, which is home to an estimated 11 million people and one of the world's most popular tourist destinations, has been blanketed for days by an unpleasant yellow-grey mix of vehicle fumes. The industrial emissions and smoke from the agricultural burning, and according to the Public Health Ministry, more than 1.3 million people have fallen sick in the kingdom. Since the beginning of the year, as a result of pollution, residents were seen wearing face masks on the streets as the country has witnessed some very poor visibility. The Italian fashion house Versace presented its fall 2023 collection in Los Angeles on Thursday. The open-air show featured a host of top models who strutted onto the catwalk on the rooftop of the Pacific Design Center in West Hollywood. Gigi Hadid led the models on the runway, dressed in a black pencil skirt and power-shouldered blazer. Black featured heavily in the collection alongside pops of orange and pink. The dresses were often short, made of silk and paired with long opera gloves. Denim trousers and jackets were also offered as a more casual option. The men were dressed in snakeskin leather, sequined suit jackets and also tops and square-toe shoes.